All right, so you're getting ready for an ICT System Integration Consultant interview. Smart move. It's a field that's really taken off right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. It's a hot field.
Yeah. And we've got these RoleCatcher guides, so we're going to take a deep dive into them and turn this into pure interview gold for you. Think of this deep dive as a crash course, not just in what to say, but how to say it, to really impress.
You got it. And remember, it's not just about being a tech whiz, it's about understanding how to make all these different systems work together. Think about merging systems, making sure data is flowing smoothly. You're helping businesses really thrive.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive right into these RoleCatcher sample questions. First one up. Can you explain your experience with ICT system integration? Seems pretty straightforward, but I feel like there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, for sure. What's interesting about this question is they're not just asking for like a laundry list of your past projects. They're looking for how you approach these challenges. Like, how do you analyze a system? What are your go-to methods for making these integrations seamless? It's really your chance to show off that thought process.
So instead of just like, oh, I worked on this project, I worked on that project, I should
Mhm.
really paint a picture of how I go about tackling these integration
Yes,
projects.
exactly. Walk them through a real example. Highlight the challenges you faced and how you overcame them. And, remember those core abilities from the career guide. Reading comprehension, critical thinking, systems analysis. This is your time to prove that you've got those skills in action.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, question number 2. What methods do you use to ensure that ICT systems are integrated efficiently? It sounds like they're not just looking for someone who can get it done, but someone who can get it done smart.
You're right on the money. This is all about efficiency. So think about your toolbox. Do you use agile methodologies? Any specific integration tools or platforms you're comfortable with? Even certifications like TOEJF or ITIL can really impress. It shows you're all about best practices.
Okay, so be specific. Mention my tools and methods. Question number 3. What do you consider to be the biggest challenge in ICT system integration? This one feels like they're trying to get a peek behind the curtain, see what really keeps you up at night.
It is. It's a clever way for them to assess your experience level. Legacy systems, data security concerns, keeping up with all the new tech. These are all real challenges. But the key here is showing that you're not intimidated.
Right. Don't let them see you sweat.
Exactly. Share a time when you faced a big challenge head on. What was your strategy? How did you stay calm under pressure?
So instead of just like, oh, this is a challenge, that's a challenge,
Yeah.
I should use a real example to show how I actually overcame something specific.
Yes, exactly. Turning a potential negative into a strength shows
Mhm.
resilience.
Okay, this is making a lot more sense now. Question number 4. How do you ensure that ICT system integration meets the business needs of the client? This feels like they're looking for more than just a tech person, but someone who really gets the big picture.
Absolutely. You need to show them you understand the why behind the integration. What are the client's goals? How is your work going to help them achieve those goals? This is where communication and active listening becomes super important. Remember, you're not just integrating systems, you're solving business problems.
So instead of diving straight into the technical details, I should start by explaining how I'd first understand the client's business objectives. Maybe give an example of how I tailored a solution to meet those needs.
Exactly. And keep in mind that the level of detail you provide should align with the seniority of the role you're interviewing for. A junior consultant might focus on following instructions, while a senior consultant would be expected to contribute to the overall strategy.
Right, yeah.
And speaking of tailoring your approach, this is a perfect time to bring in the RoleCatcher AI advantage.
Oh, yeah. It's like having a personalized coach in your corner. RoleCatcher can analyze the job description and pinpoint those keywords and skills that are most important to this company. It helps you focus your answers on what they really care about.
Exactly. It can even suggest specific examples from your experience that would be most impactful for this particular role. Talk about a game changer.
Totally. Okay, question 5. Can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot an ICT system integration issue? Please tell me about a time when
Yeah.
questions always feel a bit intimidating. What are they really looking for here?
They're trying to gauge your problem-solving skills in real-world situations. How you think on your feet, how you approach challenges,
Yeah.
and how you communicate when things get tough.
Okay, so don't just focus on the technical fix. Walk them through my whole thought process step by step.
Exactly. Set the scene, explain the symptoms of the problem, what tools did you use to diagnose it, and how did you finally find that solution? Maybe even sprinkle in a bit of storytelling to make it more engaging.
Okay, question number 6. How do you ensure that ICT system integration is secure? Security is such a huge deal these days, so I bet they're looking for someone who's really on top of their game here.
You're absolutely right. This is where you demonstrate your knowledge of security best practices, secure protocols, types of threats, and even certifications like CSSP or ISSM can add serious weight to your security credentials. Remember, security is multi-layered, so talk about securing the network, applications, and the data itself.
Okay, so it's not just about firewalls and encryption.
Right. You also want to mention things like intrusion detection systems and even employee training to prevent social engineering attacks.
So it's about showing them, I understand the tech side, but also thinking about the human element of security.
Exactly. And speaking of staying up to date, RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze your CV and pinpoint any potential gaps in your security knowledge. It can even recommend relevant courses or certifications to boost your credibility in this area.
That's amazing. Okay, on to question number 7. How do you ensure that ICT system integration is scalable? I'm guessing this is about making sure systems can handle growth.
Precisely. They want to know if the systems you integrate won't crumble under pressure when the company expands or needs to handle more data. This is where your understanding of architecture and design patterns comes in. Think modularity, cloud-based solutions, load balancing, and performance optimization. Industry standards like SOA and ESB can also showcase your knowledge of scalable architectures.
Okay, so I need to show them I can design systems that not only work now, but can also adapt to future growth. Got it. Question number 8. What do you consider to be the most important factor in successful ICT system integration? Whoa, this feels like a deep one.
It is, and there's no single right answer. But it's a great opportunity to show off your understanding of the big picture. You could talk about clear communication and collaboration, a well-defined scope, thorough planning, even the critical role of testing and quality assurance.
What about change management? Integrating new systems often disrupts workflows. So wouldn't managing that change effectively be pretty crucial for success?
That's a brilliant point. It shows you understand the human impact of system integration and that you have the skills to navigate those challenges.
Yeah, good point.
And you know what else can help you tailor your answer to the specific company culture? RoleCatcher's AI. It can analyze the company's values and suggest ways to align your response with their approach to change management.
That level of insight is incredible. Okay, on to question number 9. How do you stay up to date with the latest ICT system integration technologies and trends? This feels especially important in such a fast-paced field.
Absolutely. They want to see that you're passionate about learning and constantly sharpening your skills. Mention professional organizations like IEE or ACM, industry conferences and webinars, your reading habits, industry publications, blogs, even online learning platforms. And don't forget those certifications. Earning them in new technologies like cloud computing or AI can really make you stand out.
Okay, final question for this part. How do you ensure that ICT system integration is aligned with the client's long-term goals? Sounds like it's all about thinking strategically.
It is. You need to demonstrate that you can think beyond the immediate implementation and consider the long-term implications. Emphasize understanding the client's business strategy, their vision for the future, and incorporating that into your approach.
And maybe talk about establishing clear metrics for measuring the success of the integration, not just in the short term, but also over the long haul.
Exactly. It shows you understand accountability and continuous improvement. And you know what else can help you tailor your answer to the client's specific long-term goals? RoleCatcher's AI-powered research tool. It can analyze company reports, news articles, and industry trends to give you valuable insights.
Wow. So to sum up this first part, it's all about understanding the nuances of these questions, showcasing my technical expertise and problem-solving skills, and tailoring my answers to this specific company and role.
And remember, with RoleCatcher's AI-powered tools, you can take your preparation to a whole new level.
Absolutely.
All right, welcome back. We just tackled some tough interview questions. But let's kind of shift gears a bit now and explore some of the career insights from the RoleCatcher Guide. Because remember, it's not just about acing that interview, it's about understanding this career path, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the guide talks about different career stages, from junior to senior level. It's helpful to see where you fit in and where you can go from here.
Exactly. So, for those just starting out, the guide really emphasizes hands-on experience. And, even internships or personal projects, those count. You can weave that into your answers. You could say something like, I'm eager to learn from experienced professionals and contribute to real-world projects. I've been actively seeking opportunities to apply my skills. Something like that.
Yeah, that shows initiative, willingness to learn. Always good. What about when you're ready to kind of move up to that intermediate level?
then the focus really shifts, you know? It's more about leadership, project management. So highlight your experience leading teams, managing projects, even on a smaller scale. You know, did you coordinate a team for a school project? Did you manage a volunteer effort? Things like that. And don't forget about those valuable certifications. ITIL, TOGAF, Prince 2, those show a commitment to professional development.
I'm seeing a pattern here, aligning your skills and experience with what's expected at each stage. And this guide is super helpful for visualizing that career trajectory.
For sure. And then, you know, for those aiming for those senior roles, strategic thinking, thought leadership, mentoring, those become really key. So maybe you've developed integration strategies, presented at a conference, mentored someone with less experience. These are the things that are going to help you stand out at that level.
Okay, so it's all about building on your experiences, constantly leveling up. And speaking of leveling up, remember RoleCatcher's AI-powered career compass. It can actually help you map out your career path and even suggest personalized learning opportunities.
It's amazing. Takes all the guesswork out of career planning. But let's get back to those interview questions. Up next is one that often trips people up. Can you describe a situation where you had to deal with a difficult stakeholder? This feels like a test of how well you play with others, you know?
It does, and system integration definitely involves working with people from all different departments, and they don't always see eye to eye, so what are they really looking for here?
I think they're looking for someone who can be assertive, but also diplomatic. You know, you have to advocate for your technical recommendations while also being respectful and collaborative. Finding that balance. Think of a time when you had to persuade someone to adopt a solution. How did you listen to their concerns? How did you find that compromise that worked for everyone?
So it's not about winning, it's about finding a solution that benefits the project as a whole.
Exactly. And I think using the STAR method to structure your answer can be really helpful.
Right, yeah. Situation, task, action, result. Keeps you focused, helps you tell that story.
Speaking of challenges, let's move on to a question that's super relevant in our data-driven world. How do you approach data migration in a system integration project?
Data migration, yeah, can make or break an integration. Moving all that data from one system to another, that's a beast.
It is. So start by explaining your process for mapping data from the source to the target system. Talk about data cleansing, validation, making sure everything's accurate and consistent. Don't forget about security during that migration process. And mentioning specific tools that you've used, you know, to automate or streamline these tasks shows that you're up to date.
So cover the process, the tools, and really emphasize that focus on data integrity and security.
Got it. Next question. Can you explain the difference between SOA and ESB and when you would choose one over the other? Ugh. Acronyms. They always make my head spin a little.
Don't let them intimidate you. You know, they're looking for more than just textbook definitions. They want to see if you understand how these concepts actually work in the real world.
So how do I explain them in a way that's clear without getting too technical? Okay, start with the basics. So SOA, service-oriented architecture, it's all about breaking down those complex applications into smaller, reusable services. Think of it like building with Legos, right? Each block has a specific function, and you can combine them in different ways to create something new.
Okay, I like the Lego analogy.
Yeah. And ESB, Enterprise Service Bus, is like that platform that helps those Legos communicate. It's the middleware. Now, to really nail this question, give a concrete example. Describe a project where you had to choose between SOA and ESB. What factors did you consider? What were the trade-offs? You know, real-world examples really bring these concepts to life.
Makes it much easier to understand. Okay, next question. What are some emerging trends in ICT system integration, and how are you preparing for them? This feels like a chance to really show that I'm forward-thinking, always learning.
Absolutely. So the guide mentions things like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. Those are all great areas to discuss. Just briefly explain each trend, you know, its potential impact on system integration, and then focus on the steps you're taking to stay ahead. Are you taking online courses, attending conferences, experimenting with new technologies in your own projects, or even contributing to open source projects?
Yeah, contributing to open source projects is a great way to learn and collaborate. Shows that you're not just passively consuming information, but actively participating in the tech community. Okay, on to our final question for this part. Imagine you're brought in to integrate two systems that have completely different data formats. How would you approach that challenge? Sounds like a nightmare.
It's a tough one, but it's a great opportunity to show your problem-solving skills. So don't jump into solutions right away. Start by asking clarifying questions. What are the data formats? How much data are we talking about? What are those business requirements? The more information you gather, the better equipped you'll be.
Yeah, don't make assumptions. Okay, and once I have all the information, what are some approaches I could consider?
Well, you could use data transformation tools to convert the data from one format to another. You could develop custom scripts or middleware to handle the data mapping, or even explore third-party platforms. The key is to present a clear and logical approach. Show that you can analyze the problem and choose the best solution.
And this is where having a tool like RoleCatcher's AI-powered solution finder would be amazing. It can actually analyze those specific data formats and suggest the best tools or approaches.
It's incredible, like having an entire team of consultants at your disposal. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive. We've really covered a lot of ground. We've gone deep on those tricky interview questions, explored that career path, and even talked about how RoleCatcher's AI can help you level up your prep.
Yeah, we've definitely gone deep on the what to say. But now I kind of want to shift gears a bit and talk about the how. Because it's not just about your knowledge, right? It's about how you present yourself, how you connect with that interviewer. Those first impressions, they really matter.
Absolutely. Professional attire, that's a given. But it's more than that. It's your demeanor, your energy, your enthusiasm, make eye contact, smile, project confidence. You've put in the work. Now it's showtime.
Yeah. And don't forget the basics, like being on time. That's crucial. I always try to arrive a few minutes early, shows respect for their time, shows that you're serious about the opportunity.
That's a great point. And while you're waiting, take a few deep breaths, review your notes, get yourself in the right headspace. Remember, they're not just looking for someone who's competent, but also someone who's personable, a good fit for their team.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you've made that great first impression.
Yeah.
How do you kind of keep that momentum going throughout the interview?
Active listening is key. Really pay attention to what they're saying, ask clarifying questions, and show genuine interest in the role, in the company. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. A little humor can go a long way.
Oh, yeah. Break the ice a little bit.
Yeah.
And I've also heard it's good to have some questions ready for them. It shows you've done your research.
Exactly. Prepare a few questions beforehand, but also be ready to ask follow-up questions based on the conversation. Don't hesitate to ask about the company culture, their values, their vision for the future. It shows you're thinking long-term.
Right. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right fit.
Yeah.
And speaking of fit, enthusiasm goes a long way too, right? Even if you're nervous, just showing that you're genuinely excited about the role can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Enthusiasm is contagious. It tells them you're motivated and ready to bring that positive energy to the team.
Okay, now for the part that everyone dreads, talking about salary expectations.
Any advice on how to handle that conversation smoothly?
Ooh, yeah, that's always a tough one.
Well, first, do your research. Websites like Glassdoor or Salary.com, they can give you a good idea of the typical range for similar roles. And be prepared to provide a range rather than a specific number. Shows you're flexible.
Okay, so have a range in mind. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can be really helpful, right?
Oh, yeah. Their AI-powered salary negotiation tool can help you figure out what to ask for. It considers your experience, your skills, location, even the company's financial health. It's like having a personal agent working to get you the best deal.
Amazing. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are about to go into their big interview?
Practice, practice, practice. The more you rehearse those answers, the more confident and comfortable you'll feel. And remember, RoleCatcher's AI-powered practice tool can help you refine your delivery, get feedback. And remember, tailor those answers. Do your research, understand their needs, and show them how you can help them achieve their goals.
And most importantly, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You've got this.
Right. Take a deep breath, trust in your preparation, and let your brilliance shine.
We're rooting for you. Remember, confidence is key. You got this.